This is the updated version of Apple's revolutionary multi-track digital audio recording software. Also a powerful MIDI sequencing, mixing, and mastering application, GarageBand 3 has opened the door to millions of creative people who, until adding iLife to their must-have list of Apple software applications, had no way of doing professional audio recording at home without investing many thousands of dollars in expensive software and hardware solutions. Shipping absolutely free on all new Macintosh computers, iLife 06 provides the media artist with the spectrum of audio and video production tools. Considered prosumer level by most, GarageBand 3 is the perfect solution for users spanning the spectrum from hobbyist to professional recording artist, from truly amateur garage bands to a top-rated daily and weekly podcaster, able to handle the needs of the orchestral instrumentalist as well as the electronic experimentalist, from pop to funk, acoustic to electric, bebop to hip-hop. GarageBand is the de facto choice for those who don't have daily direct access to a high-end audio production facility. Getting started with GarageBand requires a few things in the setup department and a few things in the preferences configuration department. Let's look at getting set up for a line in, a line out, and a MIDI controller, the three basic connections you'll want to establish before even launching GarageBand. Line in can either be analog or digital, and requires often a separate unit, an I/O, or an in-out audio interface. There are literally dozens of options on the market from companies like M-Audio, Griffin, and Roland, and utilize either USB or FireWire protocols to connect to your Mac. In addition to your USB or FireWire connection to the computer, on the other end will be audio sources and signals you bring into the I/O box, which can be digital or analog signals, often depending on the specific features of the I/O. Once connected, your mixer, guitar, microphone, or tape deck will be converted to a digital signal, and by choosing your I/O as your audio in source in a drop-down menu in GarageBand's Preferences panel, and by assigning this signal to an armed real instrument recording track in GarageBand, the audio signal will be recorded to the hard drive at whatever sample and bit rates your configurations are set to, within the technical limitations of your I/O box. Follow so far? You also have an 1/8-inch line-in jack on your computer, which will take analog or digital line-in, provided you have the proper adapter or jack to insert into your computer, right next to your headphone-out jack. Line-out will simply be your choice of which speakers to send your audio source to. You have primarily three choices: your internal built-in line-out, which will default to the speakers in your actual computer, or a set of computer speakers you may have plugged in; your headphones, which will utilize the same setting as built-in and only require that you plug in headphones to your Mac; or a set of speakers or headphones that you may have connected to the line-out or headphone jacks on your I/O interface, which would require selecting your I/O as your audio out setting in that same drop-down menu in GarageBand's Preferences panel. The final item is MIDI, and MIDI allows you to connect a keyboard or other MIDI controller device like Wind Controller or drum pads and many others to your computer via a USB MIDI connection and directly into GarageBand, controlling the huge library of sounds and synthesizer settings that GarageBand offers. So once you've plugged in your keyboard or controller via USB, you can go ahead and launch GarageBand. We'll get into more of the specifics of these settings and some example setups and uses as we move through this training. Once you have some configuration and setting of these items ready to use, go ahead and launch GarageBand and we'll create a new project.